Hi class, today we're gonna learn about properties of water. Although water from different sources may have different characteristics, color, smell pollution, etc., all water shares the same basic properties. These properties are what water can exist in one of three states: liquid, solid, and gas, as follows. Ice is a solid. Water is a liquid. And steam as a gas. Frozen water, ice, is a solid. If ice is heated, it will melt and turn into liquid water. If liquid water is heated, it will evaporate, forming water vapor, a gas. If water vapor is cooled, it will condense and turn back into liquid water. Now, let's take a look how it works. We have ice, water, and gas. When ice became water, it's called melting. When water became a gas, it's called evaporation. When gas became a water, it's called condensation. When water became an ice, it's called freezing. And when ice, the solid state, became a gas, it's called sublimation. When gas became a solid state, or ice, it's called deposition. And class, I prepared a video for additional information about the properties of water. Let's go! Let's watch it!
Today we'll be learning about changes in the states of matter. Now you know there are three states of matter. There are solids, there are liquids, and there are gases. And you probably know that when a solid like ice turns into a liquid, we say that it's melting. And if a liquid like water turns back into a solid, we can say that it's freezing. But it turns out they're names for all of the other types of changes that can exist as well. If a liquid turns into a gas, like when you boil a pot of water, we say that the liquid is evaporating. This is an example of evaporation. There are also times when a gas will turn back into a liquid. If you've ever had a bottle of cold water, you see these little droplets of water form on the outside. This is happening because water vapor, or gas in the air, is turning back into a liquid because of the cold water inside of the bottle. We call this process when a gas turns back into a liquid condensation. There's one more example too. Believe it or not, but a solid can turn directly into a gas without ever having to be a liquid. This happens with dry ice, which is solid carbon dioxide. If you drop it in some water just to start the reaction, you can see that the carbon dioxide ice is turning directly into a gas. It's never becoming a liquid. Those solid chunks are switching directly into a gas. Now this process where a solid goes straight to a gas is called sublimation. Let's practice some of these together. If you ever wake up on a cold morning, you sometimes see that there's liquid water on the grass. This water comes from water gas or vapor in the air that's turning back into liquid water. What is it called when a gas turns back into a liquid? Well, we can see that that is called condensation. Here's another example. If you pour water on a dark surface on a hot day, you can watch it seem to disappear really quickly. That's because the liquid water is turning into water gas or vapor and vanishing into the air. What is it called when a liquid turns into a gas? Well, you can see that we call that evaporation. Finally, here's one more. When you have a cube of dry ice, solid carbon dioxide, it turns straight from a solid into a gas. What is it called when a solid turns into a gas? Well, when a solid turns directly into a gas, it's called sublimation. Now it's time for you to practice on your own. On cold days, you sometimes see droplets of water form on your window. What is happening to cause that? Well, that's happening because water vapor or water gas in the air is turning back into a liquid on your window. That is an example of condensation. Now here's another. When you boil a pot of water, say to make tea, you can see all of this gas coming out of the kettle. What is this an example of? Well, in this example, liquid water is turning into water gas or water vapor as you boil it. This is an example of evaporation. So from today, remember, evaporation is when liquids turn into gases. Condensation is when gases turn into liquids. And sublimation is when solids turn directly into gases.
Hi kids! Today we will learn about one of the most essential things for life on Earth. That is water. So let's start. Our planet, the Earth, is called Blue Planet because 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. So a big part of the environment is water. Even in the air, water is present in the form of water vapors. And water is present beneath the Earth's surface too. And that water is called underground water. Underground water is often used for agricultural, municipal, and industrial use by constructing tube wells. Now let's learn some properties of water. Water is colorless. It has no shape of its own. It takes the shape of the container it is poured into. Water has a fixed volume, but not a fixed shape. Let's try to understand this. That is, if you have 1 liter of water, it will remain 1 liter of water, no matter in which container you keep it. So its volume is fixed. But it will take the shape of the container in which you keep it. That is, it does not have a fixed shape. So water or any liquid has a fixed volume, but not a fixed shape. Now let's see other properties of water. Water exists in nature in 3 different states. It is liquid form, solid form, and gaseous form. Now, let's learn it one by one. First of all, liquid form of water, water that we see in water bodies, water that we drink, water that we use, is all a liquid form of water. Solid form. When water is cooled below a certain degree of temperature, it freezes and that form of water is known as solid form of water. Ice, snowflakes are all solid forms of water. One of the solid forms of water is very interesting. That is snowflakes. Now let's see some of the beautiful shapes of snowflakes. If you look closely at snowflakes, you will see very beautiful formations. Each and every snowflake has a unique shape. Even no 2 snowflakes are alike. Most snowflakes have 6 sides. There are mainly 3 types of snowflakes known as a star, dendrite, and plate. Next time you see fluffy snowflakes drifting down from the sky, don't forget to take a closer look at them. Now let's learn another form of water. That is gaseous form of water. Water in the form of steam or vapors is the gaseous form of water. Now let's learn how. One form of water changes to another one. When we heat water, some of the water changes into a gaseous state, called steam. And this change of liquid state of water to gaseous state is called evaporation. Now let's see how the gaseous state of water changes back to a liquid state of water. take a glass of hot water and now cover it with a lid. Now wait for a while. Now remove the lid and observe the side of the lid facing the hot water. You will find tiny droplets of water on it. This is the steam in the glass that converted back to water droplets. So, this is the process where steam of water or gaseous form of water changes to liquid form of water. And the process is called condensation. Now let's see how the liquid form of water changes to a solid form of water. When the water is cooled down to a certain temperature, like 0 degrees, even below degree, water changes to a solid form, and this is called freezing. Now let's see how the solid form of water changes back to a liquid form of water. When the solid form of water, that is snow, or the ice gets enough heat that its temperature rises above 0 degrees, it changes back to liquid form, and the process is called melting. Now let's learn what is precipitation. Water falling from the sky as rain, snow, or hail is called precipitation. Rainfall, snowfall, hailstorms are all examples of precipitation. So kids, today we learned a lot of properties of water and also states of water. Now you may go ahead and take a quiz to learn more. Bye-bye.
So class, I hope you get some information about our topic. Hope to see you to our next video and see you next time. Goodbye!